Hey, it's Andrew here. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about Social Security changes, the upcoming stimulus packages, and daily news updates as well. We're going to talk about how President Biden's latest moves could affect Social Security reform going forward. We also have a new proposal by Democrats to increase Social Security benefits across the board, which would increase monthly payments for almost every single person on Social Security. At the same time, in the middle of a pandemic, a new survey has shown that optimism and confidence in the Social Security program and Medicare are at an all-time high. So I'll be curious to see if you guys agree with this survey. We're also going to discuss the fact that if President Biden does not increase Social Security payments, Democrats might be wiped out in the 2022 midterm elections, at which point Republicans might take control of Congress once again. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really goes a long way in supporting my work. Okay, guys, so first of all, let's talk about the new proposal by Democrats to increase Social Security payments. This would, of course, also apply to SSI and SSDI as well. Now, this plan is called the Social Security 2100 Act. The reason it's titled this is because it will create enough funding for Social Security to make sure that benefits will be funded until 2100. Similar to how President Biden wants to do, he would do this by taxing the rich, but actually by creating a larger tax on the rich and creating even larger Social Security benefits than President Biden wants to do. Now, this proposal was put forth by Representative John Larson, a Democratic representative in the House, and one of the first things he wants to do is create a benefit bump for current and new beneficiaries. The key word here is current as well. This is a big difference from other proposals which want to increase benefits over the long term but don't immediately increase current payments. John Larson wants to do this immediately by providing an increase for all beneficiaries that is the equivalent of 2% of the average benefit. He wants to give an average of a 2% increase across the board for everyone on Social Security payments. He also wants to protect benefits against inflation. We've had a lot of talk in the news lately about inflation, and Biden has talked about this as well, that he wants to change the COLA formula to take into account expenses that seniors are faced with, specifically medical treatment and housing costs. Another thing Democrats want to do is lower drug costs, but we'll talk about that in my next video. Another thing John Larson wants to do in this Social Security 2100 proposal is protect low-income workers by making sure that nobody on Social Security benefits is forced to live in poverty, setting the new minimum benefit payments at 25% above the poverty line. This is actually similar to what President Biden wants to do, and it would increase monthly benefits for millions of Americans across the country. He also wants to cut taxes for beneficiaries. Now, this is something different that President Biden has not proposed. Now, if you're on Social Security benefits and you make additional income, if you make over $25,000, your Social Security benefits begin to become taxed. If you're below that, your benefits are not taxed at all. Now, John Larson wants to change this and raise it to $50,000 for individuals and $100,000 for couples, meaning that you can make that much money and still not have your Social Security benefits cut, effectively meaning you would have larger monthly benefits, right? Because if you're not being taxed, that is extra money in your pocket every single month and could effectively lead to a 20 or even more percent increase in monthly payments. Because if you're being taxed 20%, that additional 20% would now remain in your bank account. So that is a really good provision that President Biden has not yet proposed. Another proposal by John Larson is holding SSI, Medicaid, and CHIP beneficiaries harmless. Now, currently, if your Social Security benefits increase past a certain threshold, your SSI benefits begin to be cut, and you might actually be disqualified from receiving Medicaid and CHIP. He wants to change this and completely remove that, so any increase in Social Security would not affect these other programs. So these are the main ways that John Larson wants to increase monthly benefit payments, and this proposal has a lot of steam. It has support from Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, dozens of Democrats who proposed this act. So we should have a lot of updates in the next few weeks and few months regarding whether or not Democrats will fully support this package and pass it into law. So how exactly does Representative John Larson plan to pay for this? Well, just like President Biden, he wants to tax the rich. Some of his tax plans are similar to President Biden's, and some of them are actually more aggressive and would create even more funding for Social Security benefits. First of all, similar to Bernie Sanders, he wants to tax millionaires and billionaires, specifically starting with those who make over $400,000 per year, making sure that they pay into the Social Security tax. Currently, if you make over $135,000, you no longer pay into that tax. This is the same plan that President Biden has. Now, an extra tax that John Larson wants to put in place is to increase that Social Security tax from 6.2%, what it is today, to 7.4%. And it would not be an immediate bump. It would slowly increase from now 2021 until 2043. The average worker, this would mean paying an extra 50 cents per week every year to keep the system solvent. So even though that increase in tax would apply to everybody across the board, the average person would only pay an extra 50 cents per week. This actually breaks from President Biden's promise to not increase taxes on anybody making under $400,000 per year. So this portion of John Larson's plan would probably have the most difficulty actually getting support, because Biden, as he promised on the campaign trail, he does not want to raise taxes for anybody making less than $400,000 per year. Now, we want Biden to keep his promises. We want all politicians to keep their promises, and that would be great. But at the same time, we need President Biden to keep his promise to increase Social Security benefits. And let me know in the comments if you agree. So this is Representative John Larson's plan. It is called the Social Security 2100 Act. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you like this idea? Do you think it's enough, or do you think it should be bigger, or do you think it's at least a step in the right direction? Personally, I think it's a massive step in the right direction. I like this plan. I think this plan is what should be approved, as well as that $200 per month stimulus boost. In my opinion, we should have that $200 monthly boost until this plan is enacted, and that monthly boost would almost be a bridge to get us until Social Security benefits are actually increased permanently. Those are my thoughts, but guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, despite the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and despite the fact that the economy completely crashed and is now slowly recovering, optimism in Social Security and Medicare are supposedly at an all-time high. Now, let's read through this survey, and guys, let me know in the comments if you agree with this. I have a strong feeling that a lot of my viewers will not agree with this, given the fact that President Biden still has not kept his promise to increase Social Security benefits. Now, this article says that confidence in Social Security and Medicare hit all-time highs among workers and retirees. So not only those who are still working, but those who are actually already on Social Security benefits have strong confidence in the program. This is the 31st survey done 31 years in a row, which measures retirement confidence. The survey cited that the main reason that confidence in Social Security are at an all-time high is because despite the pandemic and despite the economy and the stock market crashing, and with so much uncertainty throughout this crisis, people felt really good seeing that their monthly Social Security benefit payments were not at risk and kept coming every single month. So despite the fact that payments have not been increased, people are just really happy and really comfortable with the fact that their payments are secured. Even in the middle of a pandemic or the middle of a recession, your Social Security payments will continue to come every single month. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Do you feel like your confidence in Social Security is at an all-time high? Personally, I really don't. I'm still not on Social Security yet, but I feel like I have somewhat of a confidence in it. I agree. I mean, the fact that you can rely on your payments to come every single month, even during a crisis, is really, really good. That is great. But I'm still having a little bit of pessimism because President Biden still has not increased those payments. We need an increase. Those payments still are not enough. So despite the fact that they're very reliable and they're very consistent every single month, they're simply not large enough. And too many people are still forced to live in poverty because these payments are much too small. Now, this brings us to our next point. A lot of political experts think that if President Biden does not fulfill his promise to increase Social Security benefits, Democrats might actually be wiped out in 2022 in mid-year elections. Remember, Democrats just barely took control of the Senate with a 50-50 split and Kamala Harris holding the tie-breaking vote. Now, if Democrats lose even just a single seat in the Senate, they're going to lose their control, which means their power to pass all these stimulus packages will greatly be reduced. And there is a chance that Democrats could actually lose the House as well. And experts think that if President Biden does not follow through on his promises with stimulus, with Social Security benefits increases, that they could actually lose not just the Senate. That's likely. It's probably a 75% chance that Democrats will lose the Senate unless they follow through with their promises. And even then, it's going to be a 50-50 because it's really hard to maintain control of both the House and the Senate. And honestly, there's a good chance they're going to lose control of the House as well. So President Biden is on the hot seat. He needs to get this done, and seniors probably will not vote for Biden if he doesn't increase Social Security benefits. Guys, let me know in the comments if you're a senior. Will you still vote for Biden if he doesn't increase Social Security benefits? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I have a really strong feeling that Biden will not get the senior vote as much as he did if he doesn't increase Social Security benefits. He promised. Biden promised to increase Social Security benefits, and I do think he's going to keep his promise. I just honestly think it's taking entirely much too long. Now, with that said, we do expect to have a lot of updates in regards to the next two stimulus packages, the American Family Plan and the Infrastructure Plan, as well as Biden's plans to increase Social Security benefits. We have a lot of proposals, not just from John Larson, but from Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. So there is going to be a lot of updates, so make sure to subscribe and I will keep you posted. Now, before we end this video, I want to show you a really sweet article by CNN, the oldest living person in this country. Her name is Thelma Sutcliffe. She is 114 years old. Now, she was recently interviewed once she became the oldest person in the United States, and she said that she has felt so isolated throughout this pandemic. Hey guys, let me know in the comments if you feel the same. The elderly and the seniors in our country have been the most isolated throughout this pandemic because they're the most at risk to get really sick or even pass away from coronavirus. That has put seniors in a position where not only are they struggling financially, but they're also struggling mentally because they are so isolated. And she was interviewed and she said that all she wants, if she had one wish, would be to eat meals with her friends in person at the dinner table once again. Because of the safety issues, she has not been able to even have lunch or dinner with any of her friends in over a year. And this is a woman who is 114 years old, is so isolated, and just wants to enjoy her days that she has left. And guys, I know a lot of you watching this video can relate. A lot of you who are seniors have been so isolated throughout this pandemic. And guys, it's been a true blessing and a true privilege to be here with you almost every single day, talking about the news, talking about stimulus, and talking about Social Security benefits with you and connecting with you in the comments. If you're isolated right now, if you're out there and you feel alone, drop a comment down below. I do my best to respond to every single comment. I know it's difficult because most of my videos get between 500 and 1,000 comments, but I truly try my best, and it's truly been a blessing to be here and share this community with all of you on my channel. But guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my work. And until the next video, take care and have a great day.